Alright, look like we live. Alright, look like we live. Make sure everything's on the up and up. Alright. See if anybody gonna come through, man. I don't usually have that big of an audience, but it's all good. Either way, it's all good. Alright, this is VF Baller, also known as Silent Gamer. This is the First Frame Race podcast. The channel for the podcast, I might say. So used to saying that when I do the podcast. Nevertheless, we're gonna talk about these rosters that have been put up by Operation Sports. They're not completely done yet. They have like 5 more schools to do. But since the schools are so small, I said I was gonna go ahead and show a little preview and see what they got in store. The 5 schools that they have not done yet, they're fairly small. You have pretty much Baylor, Bowling Green, Florida Atlantic, Florida International, and you have University of South Florida. So they're not any schools that are like significant or whatever. So with that being said, I was gonna show off some of the bigger schools. If anybody's interested in looking at these rosters or whatever, that's what I'm here for. Whatever the case may be. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into these rosters. If you want to find them once again on PS3, it's KWeezy8. K-Weezy8 if you want them on PS3. I mean, in the description I have the link to the actual forum, and in that forum has all the information. But on Xbox 360 it's Outrun Fire 0290, and those are that's the one I'm using for the Xbox 360. And these are the ones that I'm going to be showing. So I'm going to go ahead and load these rosters. One thing I noticed about since I started using the 360 version, the 360 version is quite faster than the PS3 version. I'm pretty sure because the Xbox 360 online capabilities was way better than the PS3. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, or that the fact that the PS3 is way more optimized. I mean, you can see how some of the stuff is just loading back up to the screen. I mean, it moves so quickly and so smoothly. It kind of made me want to use this as the version I want to play. Because the version on PS3, I have a few dynasties going on PS3. I'm so used to playing on the PS3. I kind of forgot how well that this one actually runs. It runs very well. So let's start off. I don't know if I want to start off with Georgia per se. Um, but these are the rosters that are out. This is gonna be pretty interesting how this is gonna look because I haven't looked at any of the rosters or whatever. I haven't looked at anything, so I don't know what the rosters look like per se, any numbers or anything like that. Uh, I just haven't looked at them. I just downloaded them. I looked at a few players, but I have not looked at any of the rosters. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be pretty interesting to see what they have in store. Right now, I'm looking at the overall players right now. The overall player and that they have on the roster is Jonathan Taylor, running back out of Wisconsin. He's a 99 overall. I wonder who's the lowest rated. It's probably somebody on the teams that's not finished yet. But nevertheless, they have Orlando Lacey from Troy is the lowest rated player at a 59. The lowest rated quarterback is Tom Stewart out of Rice. Let's see. Yeah, Tom Stewart out of Rice. But if you look at the top quarterback, obviously it's Trevor Lawrence. And right under him is I cannot pronounce his name. Tua Tagovailoa. I don't know. I'm not even going to continue to try. But he's right behind him at 97. You have Sam Ellinger, Herbert, and Jake Fromm. They pretty much rank out the top 5. So that's pretty interesting. If you want to look at the lowest rated, once again, it's Tom Stewart out of Rice. And everybody else is around the 60 mark. Garrett Durzo, Nick Nash, Nathan Sisko, Colton Richardson. Top 5, lower 5. Running backs, once again, we're going to look at Jonathan Taylor. He is the top running back in the game based on these rosters that were built. You look at Travis Etienne. He's right behind him at a 98. And then you have DeAndre Swift at a 96. Eno Benjamin out of Arizona State is a 94. I haven't heard too much about him, but that's pretty interesting. Would be nice to see how well he plays. Devin Singletary out of FAU. And we got Keshawn Vaughn, and so on and so on. Najee Harris from Alabama. A.J. Dillon, I was really high on him last year when I saw him play at Boston College. So that's pretty interesting. But the top 5, you have Jonathan Taylor, Etienne, DeAndre Swift, Benjamin, and Devin Singletary. So based on what we see right here, this is what we have. Let's go to the bottom, overall rated. You got Jet Kinshits, Smith Lindsay, Titus Smith Lindsay out of UAB, Khalil Forehand, Jalen Joseph, Aiden Noriega. That pretty much bottoms out your top 5. It's not too many fullbacks in this game. I know a lot of the guys who are doing the rosters, they're pretty much not using fullbacks as much. But the ones that are here are pretty good ones. Torrey Carter is a really good, it's a really good fullback out of LSU. If I'm not mistaken, I knew that his father played at Georgia Southern, and that's one of my biggest. That's my favorite school. That's my school I went to. And he was going to go to Georgia Southern until LSU started knocking. The bigger schools get the bigger fish. And that's just how it is. So as far as fullback goes, you got top 5 of straight 80s. Not too much to see here. It's good to see Dylan Schroeder out of Iowa State. I'm sorry, Brady Ross out of Iowa. He's actually a speed of 81, so it's pretty neat. What's going on, Gamer Champ? Thank you for coming through. And you see the bottom 5 of the fullbacks. Let's go look at some top wide receivers. Yeah, there's no mistake here that Jared Jeudy would be the top wide receiver. I mean, that's no question about that. I'm actually surprised that his speed rating is lower. I would think that he has been a lot faster. Because Jared Judy is a monster when it comes to just flat out outrunning people. So with that being said, I'm really surprised that I'm really surprised that he is only at 87. You have Tylen Wallace out of Oklahoma State, Rondell Moore, C.D. Lamb is a really good receiver out of Oklahoma, and Laviska Shenault Jr. ranks out the top 5. I don't see too many other mentions that are honorable mentions, but that look like that's the receiver corps right there. Why is that's one thing I noticed. Why is T. Higgins so slow? I just see that. That is weird. I wonder why they made the roster with him being that slow. I mean, he is a possession receiver, but geez, 79 is awfully slow. I don't necessarily know his speed like that, but that's weird. Same thing with Jared Judy. I think Jared Judy's a 99 easily. I think he's a 99 easily. So I don't know, but to make up for that, look at Higgins' agility, acceleration, and awareness. I don't know how a 94 acceleration, how would that make up for his speed, but that's real interesting. That's a good look, good find. All right, we're gonna look at the bottom. Skylar Newsome, Samario Dolphin, Shea Holbrook Jr., and Michael Noe and Kenny Frazier. There's a bunch of guys we don't know, obviously. But let's go look at the tight ends real quick before we get into the teams. Albert Okwuegbunam, Bunham. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but whatever, I tried. He's a 98 overall, 6'5", 255. You have Jared Pinkney. He's actually pretty good. Hunter Bryant is another good tight end. Kobe Parkinson out of Stanford. Stanford has been doing a pretty good job of getting good tight ends. You know, you had Kobe Fleener. You had, I think it was Zach Ertz came out of there. I can't remember. But you had a good bit of tight ends to come out of Stanford the past few years. Grant Calaterra. I think he's pretty good. I haven't watched him as much, but that's your top 5 right there. I'm going to leave the bottom 5 alone for right now. Top linemen, Walker Little from Stanford, Andrew Thomas out of Georgia. They always been pulling really good linemen. That's no secret. Georgia's always been pretty good at that. Alaric Jackson out of Iowa. You got Trey Adams out of Washington. He was the backup to Caleb Gary. He was pretty good. And Alex Leatherwood. And once again, Alabama's another school that gets really good linemen. Some honorable mentions, some guys I don't really know too well, so that I don't see any names that stand out. You got left guard, Ben Bredesen, Lemieux from Oregon, Simpson, Parker Braun, and Donaldson. You got a couple of guys here like Solomon Kinley. I know him out of Georgia. Marquise Correll, left guard out of Auburn. I think they got another guy from Auburn up here too. I think that was the left tackle. I'm sorry. They got a pretty good line. Top center, Tyler Divat. Oh, I said D. Daz. Man, I'm slow. Whatever, he's a top center. Nick Harris, Shackelford, Humphrey, Josh Seals. Yeah, he's been around for a while for them. Right guard, Tommy Kramer from Notre Dame. You have the Rock Morton for Oregon. Trevor Wallace Sims out of Missouri. Jack Anderson out of Texas Tech. And Michael Onyu out of Michigan. And he's 6'3", 350. That guy's huge. Jesus Christ. Let's see what else we got. Tristan Wirfs out of right tackle. Jedrick Willis Jr., another good right tackle. Once again, I mean, these guys out of Alabama, man, they know how to get their guys. You got Nicholas Yang out of TCU, Tremaine Akram, and you got Marcus Norman. All right, let's see at the left end. Bradley Ane out of Utah. He's the top pass rusher in the game as of right now, based on these rosters. Alton Robinson out of Syracuse. Joey Gazzino. Let's see, Jason Stowbridge out of North Carolina. And Jabari Zunia. All right, let's see. Right in on the other side. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. Right in. AJ Penza. He's at 98 overall. Nice. That's nice. Kenny Wilkes. Raekwon Davis. And that guy's a monster. Xavier Thomas out of Clemson. Another nice defensive end. And you got Julian Akwar. All right, let's see. Derek Brown is the top defensive tackle. You got, hey, this guy's been around for a while too. Leki Fotu. I think I said that right. Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle out of Goose Creek, South Carolina. He plays for the Gamecocks. That's interesting. You know, I actually thought about playing with the Gamecocks for the dynasty that I may do with this roster once it's 100% complete. Like right now, there are only 5 teams that needs to be done, and once those 5 teams are done, I think I'm gonna do a live stream running a dynasty with these guys, or at least a season. I don't know. But the Gamecocks actually, you know, they intrigued me to play with them. Justin Matabuke. I'm not good with names. This defensive tackle, Ira Lewis, senior out of Baylor. I think this is one of the teams that's not finished, so that might not be accurate. But for him to have 81 speed as a defensive tackle is insane. That is absolutely nuts. Outside linebacker, Marcus Bailey. Outside linebacker out of Purdue. Okay, he's the top one. Then you got Jahad Woods out of Washington State. Then you got Darrell Taylor out of Tennessee. Man, whatever happened to Tennessee? They're not looking too hot this year. They looking like straight trash. Charles Snowden out of Virginia. And you got Justin Strnad. Yeah, whatever. He's out of Wake Forest. Cincinnati Perry Young. He's 83 speed. He is like really fast. And you got Willie Gay out of Mississippi State. He's an 87. That's insane. Jesus Christ, he was quick. Best middle linebacker, Dylan Moses. Obviously, I think these guys are hurt or something. I think that's why they have the red shirt on this roster. I think that's why he's red-shirted, because as of right now, he's actually injured and out for the year. I think Alabama's entire linebacker corps, like, they're like decimated for the year. But you know how it is with them next man up. They're probably just as good as the guy who's starting. Joe Bakchi Jr., 75 speed, 97 overall. Shaquille Quarterman, man, he is a nice linebacker. He's going to be really good in the pros. I think he's going to be really good. I've been watching him for a few years now, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be a first-round pick easily, probably top 15 pick. Evan Weaver out of Cal, and we got David Woodard out of Utah State. Let's see a couple honorable mentions. You have Troy Dye, Kenneth Murray, and Jacob Phillips out of LSU, another nice-looking linebacker. Anthony Jennings, I think he's still healthy. What's going on today? No, this is actually on Xbox 360. You can get the rosters of this on the 360 or the PS3. The link is down in the description for the rosters on Operation Sports. As of right now, the rosters are not 100% finished. They're about 95% finished. I think they have like I think they got 4 or 5 more teams to do. So with that being said, I decided to go ahead and do a preview of the rosters. to know what's going on because the last few teams that'll need to be done are like Baylor, Bowling Green, Florida Atlantic, Florida International, and I think it's another team. These are like the smaller teams. So the teams that are more people are interested in, the big name teams or middle of the road teams, you know, they're done. So I wanted to show them off. And like with that being said, you can download these rosters right off of roster share in the game. You know, I downloaded off the roster share. Just go to the link, the roster form link, and you can get these rosters. It'll show you how it's done. It's very easy. Let's get back to this. Got Michael Pinckney, another linebacker. With him and Quarterman together, that's a pretty good linebacker corps down there in Miami. But Miami's not doing too hot. They just lost to North Carolina as well after losing to Florida. Man, they're just starting off kind of rough. So you got Zach Bond. I think I talked about him earlier. I'm not sure. You got Dax Holyfield out of Virginia Tech. They're not doing too hot either. They lost to Boston College. And around the top 5 is T.J. Brunson, another linebacker out of Columbia, South Carolina, playing for the South Carolina Gamecocks. That's interesting. That was some pretty good talent over there. It's going to be interesting if I run a dynasty with them. Best cornerback based on the rosters is Bryce Hall out of Virginia. Then you got C.J. Henderson, cornerback out of Florida. A lot of talk has been talked about that kid. He might be as good as advertised. Paulson Adebo out of Stanford. Kristen Fulton out of LSU. I saw him play against my Georgia Southern Eagles. He's really good. That guy, he's pretty good. Levert Hill, cornerback out of Michigan. That rounds out the top 5. And we're gonna look at a couple of other ones because these overalls, these ratings are really close. Jalen Johnson out of Utah. Trajan Bandy out of Miami. Okay. AJ Terrell out of Clemson. Jeff Gladney and Cameron Danzler. Free safeties, Grant Delpit. He's nice. That guy's going to be probably a top 10 pick. He's another really good defensive back. Nice free safety. Great size, too. 6'3", 203. He's the best free safety in the game. Easily. I can see that. Stanford Stanford got some pretty good players on their team. Not Stanford, but Syracuse. Has some pretty good players on their team, so this is interesting. Might be another team that might be low-key pretty good. I don't know what their record is in real life, but based on these rosters, whoever's recruiting up there is doing a pretty good job. Aloy Gilman, free safety from Notre Dame. He's from all the way in Hawaii. That was a nice pickup by Notre Dame. Xavier McKinney, another good free safety out of Alabama. He comes from Georgia. Man, Nick Saban is doing a great job of pulling guys out of Georgia, and you wonder why the Bulldogs can't get this elite talent. It's kind of crazy. And DeMar Hamlin out of Pitt. It's pretty neat. Julian Blackman is an honorable mention out of Utah. Brandon Jones, David Dow, Tanner Muse, another good free safety, and Josh Norwood. Strong safety, Isaiah Simmons. I was about to say Isaiah Thomas. 6'4", 230, redshirt junior out of Olathe, Kansas. Man, that is a great size for a strong safety. I would not be surprised if they try to move him in once he gets to the pros. Probably try to move him a linebacker or something, but you never know. J.R. Reed, 6'1", 194 out of Texas. That's a pretty good. He might be good as advertised. Richie Grant out of UCF. 93 overall. It's a little bit slow, but it's not too bad. Caden Stearns out of Texas. Man, they lost a nail biter to the LSU. That's another school that's on the rise. You know, watch this team in a few years. Josh Metellus, he ranks out the top 5. Metellus, senior 6'2", 218 out of Hollywood, Florida. Let's see. Antoine Brooks out of Maryland. Maryland's doing pretty good too. Let's see. Kickers. I'm not going to do the top 5 for the most part. Just a couple of guys who stand out. Rodrigo Blankenship, he's been a great kicker for Georgia for the last few years. I don't see anybody else that I would want to look at, honestly. Might be a little biased because of the Georgia stuff. And your top punter is Braden Mann out of Texas A&M. All right, let's look at some teams. Since we went through all the top 5 of each team, what team we're going to look at? I mean, if anybody was in the chat that want to, put out a team, let me know. If not, I'll just go down the list of teams that basically stand out. I guess, let's see. I don't see anybody saying anything as of right now, so I don't know what teams that you guys want to look at, so I'll probably just pick a team or whatever. Look at Bo Nix. They got Bo Nix as an 80 overall. I'm going to look at Auburn, I guess. We'll look at Auburn. Bo Nix, big-time quarterback, beat Oregon earlier this season, week 1. Great game against Oregon. Freshman, 6'2", 207 out of Alabama. Basically stayed home to play ball. Speed 81. Let's look at his throwing power and throwing accuracy. 84-82. Man, that's pretty typical. That sounds about right. Let's see. Well, they got a quarterback number 24. That's hard for me to believe. That's pretty different. Let's see. The running back Cam Martin and Jartavius Whitlow. These are a couple of guys that are pretty they're pretty even. Whitlow's a little bit bigger than Cam Martin though. Let's look at the receivers. Eli Stove. Got Anthony Schwartz, he's a speed guy, 95 speed. Will Hastings. All right, there's some pretty good guys on that team. I'm gonna look at their defense really quick. Marlon Davison, good looking left end right there, 87 overall. Nick Coy, 93. That's a pretty good defensive lineman. And you got Derek Brown as the anchor. So when you got Davison at 87, Coy at 93, and Derek Brown at 98, that's a pretty good defensive line. It's not bad at all. Chandler Wooten, 78. KJ Britt, their linebackers aren't all that great. Javar Davis, 87 overall. Denson, 86. Daniel Thomas is a 89. Okay, so there's not much to see there outside of that. Let's look at Alabama. So Alabama got Tua. He's a 97 overall, like I said earlier. I want to see his throwing power and throwing accuracy. I'm pretty sure it's off the charts. Wow, they only got 90 and 90? I guess that's fair. 90 and 90 throwing overall, throwing power 90. And his little brother right here. His little brother's a freshman. I don't know why they got him coming out of Alabama. I thought both of them was from Hawaii. Well, nevertheless, he's a 77. He's slightly smaller than his brother. Let's see. No, I don't know. He's not faster. You could tell he's a freshman. His ratings is not all the way there. Now let's look at his throwing power and throwing accuracy. 84 and 79. So he doesn't have it like his brother. His brother came out as a freshman. I think he was a freshman when he came in and lit it up. So he may not have the arm like his brother, but you're gonna be hearing that last name for at least 6 years. At the max, Najee Harris, running back, 6'2", 230, monster running back. 93 overall. I want to see his break tackle awareness, 92, acceleration 95. His speed is 83. I guess his speed is not as fast because of how heavy he is, but his acceleration is absolutely amazing for his size. Stiff arm is 86. Carrying is 90. He's a pretty agile back. And you know he's going to be splitting time with other running backs. So you're going to see guys like Brian Robinson come out there, and Brian Robinson's going to have he has an 82 overall. His break tackle is not that bad. It's not that good. He might be a little bit more elusive. Look at his juke moves. Well, it's not that elusive as Najee Harris, but kind of mind-boggling. Okay. All right, let's go look at this guy right here, Jared Judy. This guy's been a monster the first few weeks. He's been really good at what he does. 98 overall, speed 87. I think his speed is a little bit too low. I think his speed at the bare minimum should be like a 95, 96. I don't see these other guys on the team as fast as him. Let's see. What's his elusiveness should be a little higher as well at 85. What is his catching is 96. Now I can get with that. His catching is is up there. It's very good. Spectacular catch is 95. Catching traffic is 95. Route running is 95. So everything else is pretty much is advertised. You know, I don't see anything else. You know, I didn't look at his juke move. What is his juke? Juke move is an 85. Okay. All right, that's pretty neat. That's neat. What's going on, Roger? Roger Dat 41 NCAA still the GOAT of all football games. I absolutely agree. There's other games I do like, but there's nothing like this game here. This game always keeps me entertained. And you know, you have your NFL 2K5s of the world, but this one captures ESPN just about the same as 2K5, if not better. But the college atmosphere is bar none the best. You know, the college atmosphere on this is up to par like the old school PS2 NCAAs. I mean, it's great. Let's see. Miller Forrestall is an 80. He looks pretty good. Left tackle is a 94. Leatherwood. Deontay Brown's an 84. Chris Owens an 82. Dickerson is an 86. And Willis Jr. is a 93. But all these guys are over 300 pounds. That'd be really, you know, very, very Alabama-like to have the offensive line this, you know, that big and stout. Got another chat. Says, VF, do you know if NCAA 14 is available for digital download on PS3? You know what? I went to go check a few weeks ago. I did not see it. Whatever. The connection's lost. I don't need it anymore. Whatever. I didn't see it on the store anymore. You might need to check. It might be delisted. Nobody has said anything about it in the gaming news or nothing. But when I went to go check, I noticed that it was delisted. So, it may have been delisted. Go check and if you can, but check in the coming days, because it'll be really sad if you can't pick it up anymore. Because all that means is this game is gonna skyrocket in price. It's a shame, but that you're paying for rarity at that point. The fact that the game's not around it's just supply and demand. It's just gonna go up. Linemen, you got Ray at 86, Davis at 90. Davis at 97. Defensive lineman 80-81. Both of these guys are freshmen, but they're still like really good. So you got Terrell Lewis, 84. Dylan Moses, I think he was injured. Like I said, I think he's injured. That's why you'll probably see the red shirt, you know, the red shirt tag on him on this roster, because I think he's hurt. And Christian Harris is probably going to get the start. Yeah. Anthony Jennings, he might be hurt too, but I'm not sure. But at 93. Trevor Diggs, senior, 6'2", 207, great size. He's going to be playing on Sundays. 90 overall, 91. I want to see what his zone coverage is. let's see, his zone coverage and man coverage is 94-94. And that is press rating 97. That's ridiculous. And look at this, Patrick Surtain. This is the son of Patrick Surtain that played with the Dolphins. So he was already a great cornerback, and he's like a chip off the old block. 6'2", 203. Look at his zone coverage and man coverage, 97, 97, 97. You could possibly make the case that he's actually better than the number one guy right here, even though the overall is one lower than the other. So that's pretty neat. Free safety Xavier McKinney, 94. And you got Shaman Carter, 86. They have a pretty good secondary. I don't see too many people passing on them. So it's pretty good team. And you also got the kicker and the punter, Reichard. He's a freshman, and you got Skylar DeLong. These guys for Alabama, they're not known for their good kickers. Their kickers always tend to mess up. So that's pretty weird to see. For him to have a freshman kicker, it's not gonna be easy. So I'm gonna pick another team unless somebody else can let me know who they want to see, and I'll wait up on the chat to let me know. In the meantime, I'll just randomly select the team real quick and just go through their roster really quick. So. Roger Dat says, am I about to play? And what roster I use for? I guess he said he's about to play, and what roster you use for the 360. If you want to get this particular roster, go on Operation Sports. You can get all the information, or just go to the roster share and put in Outrun Fire 20. I'm sorry, back that up. Go to Outrun Fire 0290, and that'll give you these rosters that I'm showing right here. Like I said, for this game, I highly recommend, showing off when playing with these rosters. These guys at Operation Sports do a phenomenal job. So if there's any school y'all want me to show, I'll show. If not, I'll just probably end up going to Clemson or Notre Dame or Ohio State or something like that. You guys let me know. Anthony Brown. I like this running back, A.J. Dillon, 6'2", 250. And his speed is 87. I want to see what his body type look like with that type of size at 6'2", 250. Okay. Okay. A.J. Dillon. Okay, he looks like he's about that size. That looks pretty good. Anyway, I'm gonna go to Ohio State. I'm gonna see what Ohio State hitting on. I'm actually pretty curious about Justin Fields and whatever other team they got that's there, other players they got on the team. So you got Justin Fields here and Gunnar Hoke. All right, well, Gunner's not going to be playing, but here's Justin Fields, 6'3", 223, out of Kennesaw, Georgia. Former Georgia Bulldog, transferred to Ohio State when he found out Jake Fromm wasn't giving up his job. And here's Justin Fields right here. Let's look at some of his attributes. He's an 85 overall, speed 89, which is phenomenal. Agility and accuracy is 95. Let's look at his throwing power. Throwing power is 90, but he doesn't have all the good accuracy in the world, so it's 79. So with that being said, he's a typical sophomore. He looks pretty good. He looked pretty good so far playing, I'll tell you that much. J.K. Dobbins, another good running back, 5'10", 217. Agility 97, acceleration 97. Spin move. Did I pass the spin move? I think I did. What's the spin move? Spin move is 87. Juke move 87. He looks pretty good. What receivers he has? KJ Hill Jr., 90 overall, 6', 195. Benjamin Victor, 6'4", 199. Another good looking, pretty good senior, pretty good receiver corps. All three seniors, Austin Mack. And then you got the underclassmen under him. Some good guys coming in, Garrett Wilson. Now, a lot of these guys may see playing time because, with the formations that they may run or whatever. So, it'll be pretty neat to see. Rashad Berry, 6'4", 225. I don't see anybody on here that I like for the most part. Left tackle, 85. Jonah Jackson. Josh Myers. Wyatt Davis, right guard. Let's look at these out. These are the defense guys. Jonathan Cooper. Him and Cornell pretty much neck and neck. Chase Young. He's one of the captains of the team, 90 overall. Defensive tackle. Their front four is okay. Pete Warner, 82. Borland, 84. Harrison's 84. So their front seven is not all that good either. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad, but I've seen better come out of Ohio State at the time. The cornerbacks, Damon Arnett, and you got Jeffrey Okuda, both are 86. Underclassman Sean Wade is 85. Brennan White, 84. So based on these rosters, they have a good secondary. Let's go one team down, and let's look at Jalen Hurts and the Oklahoma Sooners. Here's Jalen Hurts, former Alabama quarterback, now playing for the Sooners. He has started off very well too. 88 overall speed, acceleration and agility, 99. Both of them are 92. I wonder what his throwing accuracy is, because he's not an accurate passer, but his throwing power is 86 and his accuracy is 84. I guess that's about right. I would take it down a little bit lower. Jalen Hurts guess he's gotten better as a passer, so I guess that'll probably be too much of a critique on him. Kennedy Brooks, running back, 91 overalls, 5'11", 209. Nice speed and agility, 87, 93, 93. Back ball carrier vision, 92. Man, got some pretty good running backs. Not bad. Trey Sermon. Let's look at these receivers. CeeDee Lamb. We talked about him earlier when I was looking at the top 5 of each in the country. CeeDee Lamb, 96. Talked about him. Look at the backups. Nick Basquine, 83. Charleston Rambo, 81. This is a big pickup. Jaden Hazelwood, freshman out of Gresham Park, Georgia. How did they pull this guy out of Georgia is beyond me, but that goes to show you that a lot of talent is in Georgia, man. A lot of talent. 6'2", 206 as a freshman. He looks really good. And they got another one out of Allen, Texas, Theo Weiss, 6'3", 202. So they look like they're going to be around with pretty good receivers for a while. And Jalen Hurts, he's a senior, so he's not going to be around to throw the ball to him, but they're just going to go back and reload like they normally do. Calcaterra, 6'4", 223, 91. See it as left tackle, 6'3", 314. He's an 80. Marquise Hayes, 81. 92. 85. And a 79. So the offensive line is not the best, but they're feasible. They're okay. Ronnie Perkins outside. I'm sorry, left end. It's pretty good. Joseph Wett, a Wheatie, Yeah, whatever. 77 is a freshman, so he's a true freshman. We got another true freshman down here, Marcus Stripling. Neville Gallimore, 88 overall. He looks pretty good. What's the other defensive tackle here? I mean, some of these defensive tackles that have this type of speed is insane. To be 80 overall, 80 speed, 6'2", 301 with 80 speed, that is insane. I'm pretty sure his tackling is like ridiculously high. 89, yeah, that sounds feasible. Outside linebacker, Caleb Kelly, 85. Right outside line, middle linebacker, Kenneth Murray. We talked about him earlier. 93. Mark Jackson, 85. Overall 85 speed. Cornerbacks, Trey Brown. 5'10", 185. He looks pretty good. Speed 95. Whatever the case may be. Let's look at some of this coverage. 90 and 88. Pretty good. Trey Norwood. I don't know if he's hurt or whatever, but he's redshirted as well. So, because most of the time with these guys do rosters on Operation Sports, if they're hurt or whatever, they'll keep them on the roster. They'll just redshirt them. So when you're playing with them in the season, they'll already be off the depth chart. Robert Barnes, 85 overall. Strong safety, Jordan Parker. They got a lot of strong safeties on this team. Goodness, that's a lot. And, you got your kickers and your punter. We'll go to another team. Let's see, give me 1 second. All right. Let's see. All right, what we got going on here? Right. Justin Herbert for Oregon. We're going to look at Oregon real quick. Oregon, with all their uniforms. Justin Herbert's a 92. 6'6", 237. A lot of guys already saying he might be the #1 overall pick in the NFL draft. With that size, I can see it based on the size. Throwing power, throwing accuracy, 82, 92. Yeah, possibly, but it all goes down to what you show on the field. At the end of the day, that's what it is. CJ Verdell, 5'9", 210. Not too bad. Travis Dye, 5'10", 192. Oregon has always been known for having pretty small running backs outside of LeGarrette Blount. They've been like that for a while. Okay, you got Jawan Johnson and you have Johnny Johnson. Jawan Johnson, 6'4", 231. He's a possession receiver, so his speed is like a 78. I'm pretty sure he can catch really well, though. Catching is an 88, so that makes sense. Let's see. Johnny Johnson. He's an 86 overall. Let's see what else we got. Jacob Breland, pretty good tight end, 6'5", 250. Penny Sewell, left tackle, 6'6", 325. Shane Lemieux, I think I talked about him earlier, 6'4", 316. Hanson, 6'5", 295. You also have Throckmorton, I talked about him earlier, 6'5", 309. And you got Brady Aleo, 86 overall, 6'7", 311. So all their linemen are like pretty much over 300 pounds except for their center. Quite impressive. True freshman, Kevon Thibodeau, 81 overall. Pretty impressive. take out the senior and possibly get the starting job. All right, you got the other guy on the other side, Austin Folio. Jordan Scott, defensive tackle, 6'1", 332. And you got another one, 6'6", 279. There's some pretty good guys up there on the defensive front. Outside linebacker Lamar Winston, I'm sorry. Troy Dye, 93. Pretty good for middle linebacker. Outside linebacker, right outside linebacker is Bryson Young. Thomas Graham, 5'11", 197, 89 overall. The guy on the other side of the field is Demore Lenore. Demondor Lenore. That's unique. 86 overall, 92 speed. Javon Harlan, free safety, 88 overall. Nick Pickett, Jr., 84 overall. And you got your kickers and you got your punter. Let's see. I guess we can look at it's too easy to go look at Clemson, isn't it? That's too easy to go right to Clemson, right? It's almost too easy to go to Clemson. But I'm going to go there anyway. I'm pretty sure people are probably intrigued. Trevor Lawrence, 6'6", 220 sophomore. It's hard to believe this kid's going to have to play another year of college. He looks like he's ready already. Ready already. Chase Bryce, redshirt sophomore out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. See, this is another thing. Dabo Swinney has done a fantastic job of pulling people from Georgia to come play at Clemson. Now, Clemson is not too far from the Georgia-South Carolina border, but still, he finds a way to get these Georgia guys. You look at guys like Deshaun Watson. He's from the Atlanta area, and it's phenomenal that Georgia did not pick up, didn't pick him up at the time. They let him go to Clemson. It's crazy. And this is another one, Cartersville, Georgia, and you got Chase Bryce, Lawrenceville, Georgia. Both of these areas, Cartersville and Lawrenceville, are literally right there in the Atlanta area, and the Bulldogs did not pick him up. It's actually mind-boggling if you ask me. But nevertheless, you got Travis Etienne, power back out of Louisiana, 98 overall. You got Lynjay Dixon, another good running back. He's a sophomore. I know he's going to split a lot of time with Travis Etienne. And you got the other guys, a couple of freshmen right here. Look like they might be ready to go as soon as these guys decide to leave or graduate, or if they end up beating one of these guys out. You never know how they do practices down there with Swinney and Saban. And, they do next man up. If you do good in practice, you're going to play. No fullback receivers. Justin Ross, 6'4", 205 out of Phoenix, Alabama. And we just talked about him earlier. T. Higgins, 6'4", 215. His speed is awfully slow, which I'm not sure if that's right or not. But nevertheless, it makes up for the agility. He makes up for it with the agility of 94, and awareness of 94. Amari Rogers. Okay, you don't have anybody else that's actually stand out in my book. None of the tight ends nothing stands out there. Jackson Carman, okay. Left tackle, 6'5", 345. He is huge. I want to see what his body type look like to be. Man, look at that. That dude look like he's ready to tear somebody apart. Look at that gut. These player models still look fantastic to this day. Man, I mean, Rex and them did a fantastic, Rex Dixon did a fantastic job with this game. Hands down. Did an excellent job with this game. Let's see. Another guy lineman, 6'4", 330. And you go back, 345 is the left tackle. 330, 6'4", 330 is the other left tackle. 6'5", 310 is the other center. Oh, not the other center, I'm sorry. Is the actual center. The other guard, 6'3", 325. And we got the right tackle at 6'2", 315. These guys are monsters up front. Trevor Lawrence should not be getting touched. Shouldn't be getting touched at all. Left end, you have Rudolph. Now, that's another thing that Clemson prides on. Clemson does a very good job of getting defensive linemen. They've been doing a phenomenal job of that. So Logan Rudolph, as a sophomore, 6'4", 245. And then you got Xavier Thomas at a 95. He's 6'2", 265. That's like I said, that's another. And you got a couple of guys that's kind of like middle of the road. Tyler Davis is a big standout already as a freshman, 83 overall. That's a really good pickup for Dabo Swinney. And there you have it for the defensive linemen. You look at the linebackers. There's no outside linebacker for Clemson. That's actually, I don't know if that's right or wrong. Ross is supposed to be done, but that's weird. Middle linebacker isn't that good, as you can see. They're middle of the road guys. As for a junior to be a 79 overall, it's actually not that good. You expect to be a 79 overall as a freshman. Like this guy here, Kane Patterson. He's a 77. He's a freshman. Even with Jake Venables, he's a redshirt freshman, and he's a 78. That makes sense. But when you're up there, the junior, a redshirt junior, that you'd have been playing for 4 years. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but usually when we look at games like this, you will see this guy at least in the mid to upper 80s at the bare minimum. Outside linebacker, Chad Smith. So that front seven is okay. It's not as dominant as it was in the past few years. I mean, they had monsters last year with the, I can't remember some of their names, like the Dexter Lawrences of the world. I mean, these guys were like dominant. AJ Terrell, Jr. out of Atlanta, Georgia. That goes back to what I said. Look at this. They keep pulling players from Georgia to come play up there in Clemson. They just keep yanking players out of the state. Crazy. Darion Kendrick, sophomore out of Rock Hill. He's 83 overall. Sheridan Jones, he's a freshman out of Norfolk, Virginia. That's another good pickup for Dabo Swinney and them. I mean, for him to be a freshman in 82, that's pretty good. And Andrew Booth Jr., another good one out of Georgia once again. Pulling guys out of Georgia. This is it's still mind-boggling. Me from the state of Georgia, I'm very biased. That's why you hear me say this all the time. But they keep pulling players out of Georgia like clockwork, like it's nothing. Lee Anthony Williams, Roswell, Georgia, 78 overall, sophomore redshirt. I skipped the free safety. Free safety, Tanner Muse, hard-hitting free safety out of Belmont, North Carolina, 6'2", 230. Pretty neat. Yeah, he might be playing on Sundays. Isaiah Williams, 98. We talked about him earlier. 6'4", 230. Like I said earlier, he may be converted to a linebacker if he's a hard-hitting safety. But you never know. Nowadays, you have the guys who are like a Cam Chancellor, Keon O'Neal, Eric Weddles, those type of guys of the world who are headhunters at the defensive back position. So, and once again, you have your kickers and your punters. I want to go look at South Carolina real quick, only because just for one reason. No, I'm not going to look at their entire team, but I do want to see the backup or the guy who left Clemson. The guy who left Clemson to play at South Carolina was Tavian Feaster. Tavian Feaster was a pretty good back at Clemson. Comes to South Carolina eligible to play right away. And you might have a pretty good season. I don't know. It just depends on how well South Carolina, take care of him. But for him to be 6'2", 221 and have 95 speed, 97 agility, 97 acceleration. That's phenomenal. And Rico Dowell, another good running back right behind him. These two guys could be really good together. I wonder what happened to A.J. Turner. I remember he was on the team. He was one of the guys I actually liked. Don't know where he's at now. He may be still on the roster. I'm not gonna look. We're just gonna go through these guys really quick. Jake Bentley is hurt. So Jake Bentley won't be playing. I think he's out for the whole season, as a matter of fact. So Ryan Helinski, a guy who they've been talking. I live here in South Carolina, in Columbia, so I've been listening to the radio stations. They think really highly of this kid. 6'3", 230. If I do start a dynasty with this team, like I was actually thinking about doing it, even though I don't care for the team, this team is very interesting in me based on what they have, and I'll probably end up just using Ryan Helinski because Bentley is hurt. I may even give him a red shirt just for him to stay another year, just to see how it plays out. I don't know, but that's for another day. Let's look at the receiver real quick. Brian Edwards, he was oh man, what's that kid name that played for them last year? I can't remember his name. But Brian Edwards, a pretty good looking receiver. I heard Shi Smith was pretty good too. I want to really look at the rest of this team. I heard their front seven is actually pretty good. DJ Wanham out of Redan, Georgia. I'm surprised they got him out of there, out of Georgia as well. But this was 4 years ago. He's a senior, so. Aaron Sterling out of Tucker. Okay. Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle, 6'6", 310. And you got Kerry Thomas, 6'2", 275. Eldrick Thomas, senior. Okay, 77 as a senior. That's not that good. Ernest Jones, 6'2", 235, 74. The back end of the front seven is not that good. But you have T.J. Brunson. He looks pretty good. 6'1", 230, linebacker. Let me see something real quick. I want to check something. Okay. All right, let's look at their secondary. Some people say that the secondary is actually pretty good. Like, yeah, I'm going to show the Georgia Bulldogs next. I was looking at J.C. Horn. Cam Smith is another freshman that they had. Yeah, they had a couple other good freshmen that he was touting about. Well, there's A.J. Turner. They moved him to cornerback. He used to be a running back. So that's pretty weird how they moved him there. And you got J.T. eBay. I guess that's what you call it. How you pronounce that? Jameis Williams. So that's pretty interesting. I didn't want to go through the entire roster, but let's go to these Georgia Bulldogs. And somebody, Roger Dat, asked for the Georgia Bulldogs. And first and foremost, you know who you have, Jake Fromm. Jake Fromm out of Warner Robins, Georgia. End up taking everybody's job and making them run off. He took Jacob Eason's job, which he's now in Washington. Justin Fields is at Ohio State. So this kid has just been chugging along. He's had a phenomenal college season, career so far. All the things that he's done for the Georgia Bulldogs, like I said, it's been great. It's not his fault that Georgia shortcomings have happened. He played his heart out every way you turn around when he played against Alabama. You have DeJuan Mathis. He's the transfer. No, he's not the transfer. He's the one that got picked up by the Bulldogs once Justin Fields left. Once he left, he got recruited to play behind Jake Fromm. Stetson Benson. Yeah, whatever. To me, it's either Jake Fromm or DeJuan Mathis, in my opinion. DeAndre Swift, one of the top running backs in the country. You got him playing as the number one running back, 96 overall, speed 92, agility 96 and 96. break tackles 83. Ball carrying vision is 95. Elusive now. Yeah, this kid looks really good. He looks very, very good. So we're gonna see how he does. Brian Harrion, he's been around for a long time. I remember one time, I think he played fullback at one point. Zamir White. Now this kid here was the top running back that was recruited the year that he came out, but he torn his ACL, so he didn't play last year. So he had a red shirt, so he's a red shirt freshman. Look for big things out of this kid too. He's a lot of people is very high on him. I think he played this season so far. Has been doing pretty good. So that's going to be pretty interesting to watch him. Kenny McIntosh, he's a true freshman out of Lauderdale. And we got James Cook. Demetrius Robinson, I've known this kid for a while. I've been following him. He's from my hometown of Savannah, Georgia, so I knew the type of guy that they were going to get when he initially got picked up by the University of California, and he transferred back home, and he's playing for the Georgia Bulldogs. It's good to see him to get more playing time, because last year he didn't really get that much playing time when he did arrive at Georgia. But as of right now, he's doing pretty good. We have George Pickens, a true freshman. Excellent pickup, in my opinion. I think Georgia did pretty good there with the, 83 overall. He's a possession guy. Big body, 6'3", 190. Let's see what his catching looks like. 82. That's pretty nice for a possession guy as a freshman. And you got a list of other guys down here. Tyler Simmons been around for a while. Lawrence Kager's been around. Big guy, 6'5", 220. He's a possession guy. I'll look at his catching as well. 76. Yeah, 76. Okay. Who else we got? Dominic Blaylock, another true freshman. He's looking pretty good too. Out of Marietta, so he stayed home. Fort Valley. All right. Karis Jackson out of Fort Valley. He redshirted. Trey Blunt out of Atlanta. Okay, so I see a little trend going on here to where that a lot of these guys are actually staying home. Matt Landers out of St. Petersburg, and another freshman out of Church, Texas. One thing about Georgia, they've been pretty good on keeping good tight ends. Charlie Warner, 6'5", 245. He's okay. Eli Wolf is another one. John Fitzpatrick, 6'6", 230. And the true freshman, Brett Seether out of Clearwater, Florida. Andrew Thomas, 6'5", 320. They're pretty good at getting linemen. Georgia's another team that's pretty good at getting linemen. Solomon Kinley, 91. Trey Hill, 6'4", 330. Look like all their linemen are going to be over 300 pounds too. Yeah, look at, oh man, let's go back and look at this. 320, 335, 6'4", 330, 6'6", 335. Yeah, Ben Cleveland's been around for a while. And you got Isaiah Wilson, the guy from Brooklyn, New York. I remember when he first got recruited. I mean, this is nuts. Look, once again, let's look at this again. 320, 335, 330, 335, and 340. Yo, these guys should not be giving up anything. And look at him. He's more muscle than anything. Look at that stomach. He's not like that other guy I showed from Clemson. Whew. Sheesh. Guys are monsters. David Marshall, lineman. I'm sorry, defensive lineman. Malik Herring, both of them are 84s. Right in, you have Tyler Clark. Then you got Jordan Davis, the defensive tackle, 6'6", 330. And you got another one, 6'5", 300. Even. Nolan Smith, outside linebacker. I remember this guy getting picked up. No wonder, I remember because he's from Savannah. That's how I remember. I remember hearing about him getting picked up. Pretty good acquisition if you ask me. Outside linebacker, 6'3", 235. His speed is 89. I wonder what his tackling is like. Can he actually tackle? Tackle is 80, not too bad. And let's see, play recognition is 70. Zone coverage, man coverage. He probably can get head on the play action. All right, Jared, I could do North Carolina next, not a problem. All right, let's look at the middle linebackers real quick. Monty Rice, Tay Crowder. I know Tay Crowder's been around for a while. And Quay Walker. I remember hearing his name a few times. Aziz. I can't pronounce the name. I'm not even going to try. Ojulari. Freshman. 84 overall. Eric Stokes, defensive back out of Covington, Georgia. True sophomore Tyson Campbell. Hey, their duo is actually pretty good. And Mark Webb is another guy who probably can get some starting snaps as well. Not bad. They're young, but they look like they're going to be okay. Let's see, Richard LeCount. You have this guy, junior out of Hinesville, Georgia, 85. And you got J.R. Reed, probably one of the best safeties in the country outside of the other ones. You know, I think he's top 5, I'm not sure, based on what we showed earlier. But 6'1", 194 out of Plano, Texas. And Rodrigo Blankenship, great kicker, and you got your punter as well. Once again, like I said, Jake Fromm. Here he goes. Like I said, man, these player models are still hold up very well. This game holds up very well. Let's look at North Carolina since Jared. Appreciate you coming through, Jared. I know you big fan of the show. You've been around for a while. Yeah, I appreciate you coming through. Here's North Carolina. Let's look at all the players first. Best player on the team is Charlie Heck, offensive lineman, 6'8", 315 out of Kansas City. And that's quote-unquote supposed to be your best player on the team. Jason Stobridge is right behind him at a 90. So let's go down the roster. Jace Ruder, I don't think Jace Ruder is playing. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jared. Isn't Sam Howell, isn't he the starter? Because I think when I saw them play a few games, I always remember seeing number 7 under center. So correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's the starter. I don't know if this is... Yeah, that's what I thought. Sam Howell was the starter as a true freshman. I don't know if this is accurate with the color of the helmet and the jersey. That may be accurate. I don't know, but I still love the North Carolina Tar Heel colors. I love their colors. Nevertheless, let's go to the running back. Michael Carter, 5'10", 200 out of Naples, Florida, 86 overall. Speed 82. Break tackle 79. Not great, but good enough. Elusiveness is 88, so that's actually a pretty, that's pretty good with the elusiveness, acceleration, and agility. And that's a pretty good combination. As a matter of fact, this team has been doing pretty good this year, actually. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're 2-0. Let me look and see. North Carolina football. Yeah, they're number 1 in the Coastal. Yeah, they beat they beat South Carolina. And they beat the University of Miami. They beat the Hurricanes. Mac Brown got them doing something really nice. Yeah. Yeah, they got them doing something really good. The next game, they play Wake Forest. And then after that, they play App State. Yo, they could be 4-0 going into the Clemson game. And Clemson plays them in North Carolina. So, Clemson is Clemson, but we'll see. We'll see. Javonte Williams and Antonio Williams. You got somewhat of a 3-headed monster back there for some pretty decent running backs. Let's see. Daz Newsome, 5'11", 190. Uh, Bo Corrales, 6'4", 210. Junior out of Georgetown, Texas. Nice size for a player. It's pretty cool. Um, Sophomore, Damani Brown. I can't pronounce. I think I said that wrong, but I'm not even gonna do it again. Freshman receiver Caffrey Brown. That's a nice pickup right there. 77 overall as a freshman. That's a pretty good pickup. Antoine Green, you got him as well as a backup. As a sophomore. So the future's looking pretty bright, you know. Okay, Javonte Williams is from your area. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay. And let's see, Javonte Williams from Clinton, North Carolina, with your high school. Okay. Oh, he went to Wallace Rose High School, but he's just from your area. Okay, that's pretty neat. Let's look at some tight ends. Carl Tucker. Let's see, 85. The other tight end is the 80, 6'3", 250. Charlie Heck, offensive lineman, 350. We talked about him earlier. Other lineman, 79. 77. Nick Polino is an 83. And pretty much all your guys, Jordan Tucker, 6'7", 335. All of them are over 300 pounds. So, once again, I think this is becoming a trend. A lot of these big guys are actually getting that work in. 315, 302, 305, and 335. Nice size lineman. 6'7", 335. And the player model, he's a little bit smaller. He's a little bit on the lanky side. But nevertheless, 6'7", 335 is exactly what it is. I need to create the other QB on the roster. Who's the other QB? Just curious to know. Let's look at the defensive line. Jason Stowbridge, 90 overall at Deerfield Beach, Florida, 6'5", 285. He doesn't have the speed, he has agility, and he has acceleration. I wonder what his some of his traits are. Okay, you got the hit power 82, tackling 82, power move and finesse move both for 84. Block shedding 84. So I can see where his rating the way it is. Outside of his speed is not that good. I can see what all the other stuff that he can do. I see that. All right, let's see the outside. The right end is 85. Pass rusher out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. Okay, 85. His speed is not that good as well, but I'm pretty sure his finesse move, his power moves are actually pretty decent. Yeah, 82 and 84. Okay, I see that. The roster only got 2. We got a redshirt freshman he needs to create. Okay. But see, that's the thing. If you have this game, write down in the description, you can go to the forum and it shows you how to get these rosters. You can go into, let me look. It has all the information of all the rosters that are done. This roster is not 100% finished. Once again, this roster is about 95% done. They have like 5 teams left. So 5 teams out of 126 teams, you're pretty much there. And the only teams that aren't done are like lower tier teams. I think Baylor, like I said, Baylor wasn't done. Bowling Green is not done. Florida Atlantic, Florida International, and University of South Florida, those teams aren't done. So in the description of the live stream, I have the link to get these teams, and whether if you're on PS3 or Xbox 360, you can get them. It gives you all the information right there on how to get these rosters. And to be honest with you, as of right now, as we speak, I just refreshed the page, and they're working on them right now to the point where the PlayStation 3 roster, has been updated to today. This roster has been updated as of the 9th, I think, or it's the 5th. This one has been updated as of the 5th. But even with that being said, that roster still has 5 teams done. The other one, the PS3 one, has been updated as of today. So if you have a PlayStation 3, just go to the link and it'll tell you everything you need to know how to get the rosters. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get back to this. Aaron Crawford, 83 overall, 6'2", 290. They only have 3 defensive tackles on their team. By default, if you run this game in a dynasty, they're going to put another defensive tackle on your team because by the settings of this game, you got to have at least 4 defensive tackles or something like that. Jake Lawler, not a good outside linebacker. I guess he's okay for a sophomore. He's a middle-of-the-road guy. You say Crawford needs to be higher? Okay. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know Crawford like that. This is your team, so you'll know better than I would. Middle linebacker Jonathan Smith, 79 overall, is a senior. And Dominic Ross, also a senior, is 81 overall. Let's go back and look at Crawford since you said that. Let's look at his other moves. His finesse move, his power move. Yeah, they got him pretty low. You say he's a beast, but he only have hit power is 78, tackling 86. Power and finesse moves are pretty average. So, I don't know, man. You might be onto something. All right, we already looked at the linebackers. The front 7 is okay. All right, let's go look at Bryce Watts. Do you know anything that I need to know about Bryce Watts being redshirted? Is he injured? Do you know? I can look at the roster I got online. Let's see. Do you know if he's injured or whatever the case may be? I don't know, but they got him redshirted in this roster. Most of the time with the guys do Operation Sports, when somebody is injured, they'll usually redshirt them, or if they got suspended or something like that. If you know, let me know. Yeah, I think that would be pretty interesting to know. But anyway, with him being redshirted, he's at 83. And you got 2 of them right here. Kyler McMichael's another one. Both of them are redshirted as well. One's a junior, one's a sophomore. So I don't know what's going on there. Were they hurt within the last couple of weeks? Were they hurt within the game? I'm trying to find their names on the roster, and I'm trying to multitask. So it's pretty, it's not easy for me to try to do both. Let's see. Jaleel. Oh, they're both in the transfer portal. Okay, I got you. There you go. That makes sense then. Okay. So either way, they'll probably have to sit out a year anyway. So for them to be in the transfer portal the way they are, okay, that's fine. That makes sense. That's kind of weird for them to be in the transfer portal. They're basically the best players on the team. Maybe somebody over here that took their spots and they're like, forget it, I'm out. Bryson Richardson is another one. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna have to sit. That's yeah, you're right. That's why I was like, yeah, they're gonna have to sit anyway. That's why they're redshirted on the roster. Miles Woolfolk, Cameron Kelly. Both of these guys are fairly identical. Kelly's a little bit bigger than him. But with that being said, it's interesting to see which one of these guys are going to start. Miles Dorn, senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He stayed home. That's pretty cool. You know what? I kind of agree with that. Your secondary is actually pretty good based on the games that I've seen them play. And for them to be pretty low, that's kind of I don't know. Maybe they're playing higher to their potential based on what these rosters are. But yeah, your secondary is actually pretty good. And pretty much that's going to be it for the rest of them. You know, you got your kicker, Noah Ruggles. That's a great football name, Noah Ruggles. Ruggles. And you got your punter, Ben Kiernan. Anything else? Any other team y'all want to see real quick? I've been going on here for about an hour and a half now. I showed Oklahoma. I showed Ohio State. I showed Alabama. I showed Clemson. I showed Georgia. I'm trying to find a couple teams that's actually interesting to me. Obviously, Georgia Southern's not on here. I had to go through Team Builder to get my Georgia Southern team, and actually I was surprised that they were up to date. And I have them on my PlayStation 3. I don't have them on my on my Xbox 360. So, any other team that y'all want to see? I already showed Oklahoma. I can skim through them real quick though, but I did go through them really quick. Since you want to see them again, since you came late, there's Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, that's him right there. I think he could be a little bit lighter on the skin color, but whatever. And I don't knock it. You got Kennedy Brooks, Trey Sermon, 90-91, couple of good running backs. Let's look at Jalen Hurts real quick. Agility 92, his speed is 88, his acceleration 92. His throwing power and throwing accuracy 86-84. Pretty much on par. His accuracy is a lot higher than I thought it would be. He's never been really an accurate thrower. CeeDee Lamb, we talked about him earlier. A really good receiver, 96 overall. A little bit slow with 86, but he's a possession receiver. His catching is a 96. Sounds about right. Spectacular catching and catching traffic as well. 92, 92, and a 96. Them chickens. I briefly went over them as well. I wanted to look at Tavian Feaster, and they actually got Jake Bentley hurt, so he's redshirted out as well. Let's see. We went through most of this already. So I'm pretty sure one of the main things you want to see was Jalen Hurts. And like I said, Jalen Hurts is as good as advertised based on what they have. I did show South Carolina. I'll run through them really, really quick again. South Carolina, Jake Bentley, I think he fractured his foot or something, but he's out for the season or whatever. So Ryan Helinski is going to be playing. Want to see Texas? Okay, good. I'll show Texas. I haven't showed them yet. And there's Tavian Feaster right here. The transfer from Oklahoma. Oh, God. I'm sorry. He's a transfer from Clemson. And there's Tavian Feaster right there. And we're going to go jump to Texas. Yeah, we'll jump to Texas and see what they're hitting on. All right, let's go to Texas. Oh, I went the wrong way. All right, here's Texas. The best player on their team is Colin Johnson, based on this roster. 92 overall, possession receiver speed 83. One thing I noticed that a lot of guys that are possession have really low speed on here. I'm pretty sure that's by design, but whatever. I agree. Yeah, Tavian Feaster is really good. Luckily, y'all won that game because the coaching staff is just they have rocks for brains. Sam Ellinger, 6'3", 230. He's a nice size. And you got Casey Thompson right behind him, 6'1", 195. Roshan Johnson, true freshman, 6'2", 220. So they got a pretty good stable of quarterbacks that are coming up. So pretty interesting how that plays out. Keon Ingram, 6 foot 220. Middle of the road running back, maybe a little better than what was being showed here. Let's see. Oh yeah, y'all got Dre Bly as a secondary coach, so all your DBs are gonna be great. Dre Bly is no joke. I remember him playing for the. I remember him playing in college, let alone playing for the Rams. I mean, he's been great. Jordan Winnington, 6'1", 215 out of Victoria, Texas. Really good running back. That's a good pickup right there. Daniel Young, a 6 foot 220. They got a pretty good stable of big backs. Everybody's over 200 pounds. Colin Johnson, we just talked about him. Devin Duvernay, 5'11", 210. Got some speed on him. Out of Wiley, Texas. Agility is pretty good as well. John Burt, 6'3", 205. Josh Moore, 6'1", 180. Brennan Eagle, 6'4", 225 out of Houston, Texas. Okay. Man, this burnt orange on this Texas team looks phenomenal. I love it. I love their colors. Yeah, Texas is going to be pretty good this year. They didn't beat LSU. That shouldn't hurt them too much. Also, a lot of people are looking at this team as a national championship contender next year. Like a lot of the people are saying they're 1 year away. And based on what I see, a lot of these underclassmen are actually really good. So they stick around. You might be looking at that situation where they could be a top 5, top 3, top 2 team. They look pretty good. I mean, like Texas is actually back on the map based on their past situations. I mean, they were looking abysmal like the past few years prior to this. As a freshman tight end, 78 overall, that's pretty good. Pretty good tight end to pick up. 6'7", 300 pounds, sophomore tackle. Man, I love these body types, man. They're great. Yeah, you're right. Since Mac Brown left, they haven't been the same. It's actually been pretty sad, but they're turning it around. They're turning it around, and we'll see how that goes. I'm actually surprised they got that high school over here. I never noticed that you could put the high school on here. That's interesting. Let's see. Parker Braun, 6'3", 330. 6'3", 330. 6'3", 300. Shackelford, 6'4", 305. Derek Kirksetter, 6'5", 300. My team? Who's my team? My team is, you should know this. You see me on Twitter all the time, but I'm a Georgia Southern Eagle. I was a big fan of the Georgia Bulldogs. Not so much anymore because they've been talking a lot of shit about my Georgia Southern Eagles. My team isn't necessarily on this game. I had to do a team builder to get my team, even though the team is one of the top. I'm not saying one of the top. They're a part of the big boy colleges now, but they became FBS bound a year after this game came out. So if NCAA 2015 came out, they would have been on that game. But if I do a dynasty with these rosters, once these rosters are complete, I'm actually thinking about doing a roster with I'm actually thinking about doing a dynasty with these rosters with probably the South Carolina Gamecocks, because that team actually looks interesting on paper. They're a middle of the road team. I don't have the luxury of having a decked out top 10 team, but I won't have a cupcake team either. So I'm still doing my dynasty with the Georgia Southern Eagles on my PlayStation 3, but for live stream and YouTube purposes, I may use the South Carolina Gamecocks. I think there is going to be an interesting. I think they'll make interesting content. And absolutely, yes, Shawworks is a beast. There's no doubt about that. Yes, he is. And I can't wait for him to come back and play. I can't wait for him to play against Minnesota. We do play Minnesota. Matter of fact, I want to look at Minnesota before we leave, and I want to see what type of team that my Eagles are going to be up against this week coming up. Let's see. Malcolm Roach, senior out of Baton Rouge. Taquan Graham. He's a pretty big defensive end, 6'3", 300 pounds. Man, that's pretty, he doesn't look 300 pounds, but still. That's a lot to put on the defensive line right there. But when you have defensive tackles that are 340, I see why. Yeah, look at this. And you got another defensive tackle that's 325. Yeah, I see why you have a 300-pound defensive end. He probably was a defensive tackle, but they moved him over because these guys are like huge. No, he was not suspended. He got hurt in the LSU game. He hurt his arm in the LSU game. The whole situation with that situation with the bird doodle on the window, all that was dismissed. He was dismissed, and he hurt his arm against LSU when they played LSU. He should be back for the game against Minnesota. But no, he didn't get suspended. That kind of upset me when he got in trouble. That was ridiculous. That whole situation was terrible. Joseph Osei, 6'4", 245. We played LSU first and got ramrodded. I mean, we got beat pretty bad. LSU was prepared for our offense. It was no doubt. We went into LSU and we got beat badly. We lost like 55-3. It was really bad. But they were prepared for the option because we run the option, spread option, triple spread option pass. And they were prepared for it. It even came out that the coach, Ed Orgeron for LSU, said, look, we've been preparing for you guys since February because we know you guys could run this offense so well. So they jumped on us really quick. And, they was prepared and it showed. It's not a knock against them. I mean, they did their due diligence. And I don't knock them for it. I feel that we could play with them. But at the same time, those guys came out ready. And, so it's no secret. They should be prepared to recruit the best players in the nation. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it is. Caleb Johnson, both of these guys, him and Aodell Adoye, that's how to pronounce that. Both of these guys playing middle linebacker. I can see both of these guys on the field at the same time. Jeffrey McCullough, outside linebacker. Let's see. Anthony Cook, 6'1", 190 out of Houston, Texas. Both of these guys are sophomores. That's pretty good. These guys are going to be around for a while. That's actually it's a pretty good tandem to have right there. Then you have another guy that's a true sophomore, right behind him at 79, and another sophomore that's a red shirt that's 78. You have a freshman that's a 78. Hey, these guys, their secondary could be phenomenal within the next couple of years. This is outstanding. Man, that is. And whoever did the recruiting of these guys did a phenomenal job. This is great. All right, you also have a senior, Brandon Jones, and you have a freshman right behind him. That's a 78. Let's see what the strong safety look like. Sophomore, 92. Their secondary is going to be nasty within a year or so. If it's not already that good now. They're I know they got beat by LSU with some clutch plays, but talent-wise, these guys could be really nice. Y'all think about y'all offense for Georgia Southern. Do you know Georgia Tech doesn't run the flex? No, they're Paul Johnson was their coach, and Paul Johnson was one of the guys who was a coach at Georgia Southern. He won 2 national titles at Georgia Southern running that offense. So when he went to Georgia Tech, well, I think he went to Navy first, but he ended up at Georgia Tech running that same offense. And that offense is very good. It just requires discipline. And like I said with LSU, you've been preparing for that offense since February. I mean, you're gonna do great things if you prepare for any offense for that long. So but once Paul Johnson left Georgia Tech, the coach there now runs more of a pro-style offense, and a lot of those guys are finding their way on the field because a lot of guys are used to running that triple threat, that triple pass option type offense, and they're going to a more pro style. So it's going to be interesting to see what Georgia Tech does. But nevertheless, I'm going to jump over and look at my Georgia Southern Eagles. They're going to have to play Minnesota. And Minnesota has been having trouble. Minnesota's been having trouble with a few teams. I want to look at Minnesota. They played against let me see. Is my stream still up or is it down? My stream go down? No, it looks like I'm still live. Let me know if I'm still live. Okay, look like I'm still going. I didn't know if my stream went down or not. I had to do a quick test. Minnesota, on the other hand, they're in the Big Ten, but they almost lost to South Dakota State, 21-28, and they almost lost to Fresno State in overtime, 38-35. So my Georgia Southern Eagles, they got a pretty good chance to beating this team. I don't care what anybody. I mean, I feel that my team has a chance to beat anybody in the country. My team, I believe our team is pretty good. I don't think they're one of the top teams in the country, but I feel that they have a good chance of beating anybody. So with that being said, we're gonna look at Minnesota here. And I think Zach Anixtad, I don't think he's playing because I think it's Tanner Morgan is the starter. And so Anixtad is not going to be there. With that being said, their quarterback's not that good, 75. Their running back, Rodney Smith, is really good, but we're good at stopping the run, so I'm not really worried about that. I'm more worried about the pass. And the reason why I say the passing game, I'll show you in a second. These two running backs look pretty good, but I think we'll be fine with the run. This is what I'm worried about. Not only Tyler Johnson is pretty good, this kid right here, Rashad Bateman. Now, if you don't know this kid, we at Georgia Southern tried to recruit this kid out of Tifton, Georgia. We wanted him to play for Georgia Southern, but he ended up going to Minnesota. I guess with us at Georgia Southern, we're trying to implement the pass more because we are a run-first offense. I mean, we run an option. We run the triple option. We run what you call the spread triple option. That's what they call it. And we're trying to get some receivers. And this kid here, he's a sophomore now. But when he was out of high school, we tried to get him to come to Georgia Southern. I know this kid's talent. I know he's good. To be honest, I think he's actually better than Tyler Johnson, the senior. But nevertheless, I'm worried about this more than anything. I'm not worried about nothing else but the passing game. Now, we do have some good cornerbacks as well. Kendall Vildor, Marquavian Brinson. These two guys are All-Americans in the Sun Belt, and they're already talking about these guys possibly making it to the NFL based off their talent. And I know but Vildor is already being projected to be like a 4th or a 3rd round pick in the upcoming draft. So we have the talent there. So this is the main thing I'm worried about. We look at Jake Paulson. You look at the tight ends. You know, 73 overall, middle of the road. Now, this is where I feel that even though the running game, they got good running backs, I want to see what their linemen look like because our front 7 is actually pretty good. Sam Schulister, 74, 6'6", 325. Andrews, 6'6", 325, 86. Another Connor Olsen, 86, 6'5", 305. Curtis Dunlap Jr., 76, 6'5", 345. And, wait a minute. Do you see this? 6'9", 400 pounds. What? He's 80. He should be at least an 85 overall based on his size alone. I need to look at this guy's blocking. Let's see. Look at this. Pass blocking 88. Run blocking 89. Jesus Christ. We might have our work cut out for us off of this guy alone. Impact blocking 87. I have to watch this kid. When this game, I have to see. That is nuts. Who the hell is feeding this kid? Look at this guy. Look at this cat. Oh, I like their uniforms, though. Their uniforms are absolutely gorgeous. What? 6'9", 400 pounds. Wow. That's crazy. I mean, outside of him, their offensive line is like middle of the road, so we should be able to get something on them. Look at the defensive line. Della Boudre and Della Tabudre. I guess how you say that. 76. Coughlin Carter, 93 overall. He's pretty good. Right in. Defensive tackles, 75. Sam Renner. He's gonna murder my defenders, Like, my God. Listen, I'm scared of that guy alone. The defensive tackles don't look that good. They got some pretty good size, but their overall is not that good. I think our offensive line should be okay. Middle linebacker Thomas Barber. Kamal Martin. Okay, 82. Their secondary is not that good. They're okay. This guy right here is a sophomore, is really good for being, 78 overall as a sophomore. That's good. They're very weak up the middle, and that's perfect for my line. For my running game. That's perfect for my linemen for them to be weak up the middle. That is perfect. That plays right into our hands, and we don't do too much running outside. We can sneak them outside with the option. So how disciplined they are, that's going to be really a task for the outside. The left and the right end, but up the middle we should be fine. Tyler Nubin, the free safety, their cornerbacks and their free safety and their strong safety The strong safety, Antoine Winfield. Yo, isn't that the son of Antoine Winfield that played for the Vikings? Wow, I didn't know he played for them. It's pretty interesting. Cool. Um, but yeah, I think overall, looking at this team, I think Georgia Southern has a chance. They have a really good chance. I said that this could be the game that we could win as an upset throughout the entire season. For as far as our schedule, we have to go up to Minnesota, but based on how they've been playing so far this year, they almost lost to South Dakota State, and they almost lost to Fresno State. So I don't look at these guys as a really good team. But I'm almost certain that Antoine Winfield is the son. I'm pretty sure he's the son of. I'm pretty sure he's the son of Antoine Winfield that played for. Yeah, he is. I see it right here. He's the son of former Ohio State Buckeye and NFL cornerback Antoine Winfield. Yeah, I kind of figured that. So that's pretty neat for him to be, playing for Minnesota. But I think Antoine Winfield played. Yeah, I remember Winfield played for the Vikings, so he probably grew up in. Well, they say he went to school in Texas, so I guess he didn't. I guess he wanted to play up there. Okay. Yeah, Antoine Winfield's only 42 years old. Man, that makes me feel young, man. He actually makes me feel kind of old. But yeah, Antoine played for the Minnesota Vikings. His son played school at Texas. He played high school in Texas. Okay. That's pretty neat. Okay, I've been up here for about 2 hours. I think I'm gonna call it a day. I went through pretty much all the teams that are pretty prominent. The only team I know I didn't go across, I did not touch Florida. I did not touch Notre Dame. Who else? I didn't look at USC. I didn't look at. I think I looked at Oregon. I did look at them. I didn't look at Stanford, Tennessee. Oh, that's interesting. He played for the Woodlands. Usually have an all-white team. That's pretty interesting. What other team that might be interesting I didn't look at? Washington. I didn't look at Washington, but there's Jacob Eason. He's a transfer out of from Georgia. He went back home because he's from Washington. So he went home and played. He played pretty good as well. Let's see. I looked at a little bit at Auburn. I looked at Auburn a little bit. Here's Florida. Felipe Franks. Michael Piron. The usual guys. I heard it's not Malik Davis. I didn't look at Miami either. Oh, yeah. Jacob Eason has a lot to prove as well. You're right. Based on what happened to him at Georgia. He's doing pretty good. He's doing really well right now. I didn't look at Miami. Miami's another school I wouldn't mind doing a dynasty with one day. I mean, I just like their colors. There's Tate Martell. Look at this clown. Yeah, the front. Yeah, what's his name? Jake Fromm took his job, just like Tate Martell. He lost his job a couple times as well. Noski Perry just took his job as well. Is it Noski Perry or Jaron Williams? One of these guys are the starter. I can't remember. Let me look that up. Let me look. Yeah, Dallas. DJ Dallas is an excellent running back. He's a very good running back. Jaron Williams is the starter. Um, so basically, Tate Martell leaves Ohio State and ended up losing his job anyway to Jaron Williams. And Jaron Williams, for all intents and purposes, he's doing good. But this kid here, DJ Dallas, this guy is nice. This guy is really good. Yeah, he's a lot better than I thought he'd be. Yeah. So, pretty much, I didn't look at Michigan either. I didn't see no reason to look at Michigan, honestly. There's nothing there for me to say, hey, I need to see what they're talking about, what they're hitting on. But I'm going to go ahead and close it out, man. It's been up to the 2-hour mark. Me streaming these teams. There's a few teams I didn't touch, like I said, but it was just time constraints at the end of the day. Just time constraints. I hope you guys really enjoyed the rosters that I showed. Once the rosters are done, I'm thinking about doing a dynasty, like I said, with probably the South Carolina Gamecocks. I may do one with Miami since we just looked at Miami. Hell, I might even do one with UCLA. These are like three teams that for some reason, I just love their jerseys. I love the way their jerseys look. So, yeah, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. We'll have the podcast up Thursday, first in frame rates. And we'll be talking about sports and sports gaming. A lot of stuff going on with these devs leaving Twitter. All the stuff going on with how people are being treating each other on Twitter once again. And we're going to talk about these upcoming games with 2K just released and everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed, man. And until next time, see you guys later. Peace.